Who gets the best version of you? Have you ever thought about this? We know about, law of attraction and what you focus on increases and karma. As you sow, so shall you reap. And even things about like empath narcissist type of dynamic. But have you ever examined yourself and your relationships and new things and new jobs, new opportunities, new friendships, and really looked at who is getting the best version of you? Because that is the key to understanding where you're doing well and maybe where your intentions are great, but your methods maybe need a little tweaking. Because if you look at the treatment that you're receiving, if you look at how you're being spoken to, if you look at how you're being prioritized, the ones that are the highest should also be the highest. Otherwise, there's something wrong. And this isn't talking about, caregiving or in the case of someone who you're helping who's actively going through something, who say you've known someone for 20 years and they're having a really hard time with something right now. That's different. This is talking about the majority and the things most of the time and the things that we start and fall into familiar patterns. So, for example, if someone says to you, "You're a really great friend and I always want to make time for you," and they always do, is that the person that you prioritize as well? Or because they're very understanding, is that the person that you cancel things on? And who do you cancel for? Is it for the person that never makes time for you and suddenly last minute says, "Hey, do you want to hang out?" That's the person that doesn't prioritize you. And that would mean that you're prioritizing the person that does not prioritize you. That's where that shift is. And if you're treating someone really well and you really like them and they really don't treat you well, but they say they like you, it's totally okay to step back from that. You can really like someone. Like, I always use food as examples. I know. I love these French fries from this one fast food place. Like, I would eat them all day long, every day. But I know that would make me sick. And I know it'd be very expensive too. So the last time I ate them was probably a year ago, maybe more. I don't know. So you can like someone, but know that they're not good for you and choose not to be around them. If they are making you sick, costing you a lot of time, attention, money, and you've got to look at, how does each relationship that you have affect your other relationships? Because what you're choosing, say you have, like Jim Rohn had said, you are the 5 people you spend the most time with. So if you look at, say it's one friendship, and this person is always causing drama and always causing things to go awry, and that's going to spill over into your other 4, or maybe it's 3 or 2 or 20. That's going to spill over into your other relationships. And you're going to find yourself thinking about the drama of that one and confiding in or asking for help with or doing other things with your other friendships and relationships. And that's actually going to draw the attention downwards, and it's going to make their experience with you worse because of that one friendship that's causing all the drama. What's drama? There are people who have actual problems and people that create problems. If people are creating problems and acting with all kinds of emotion, and you're trying to just help them see that, look, it doesn't have to be that hard. It's really not that bad. That's you involving yourself with drama. And that's you also not realizing that you involving yourself in someone else's creation of drama is you creating drama that you don't have to create. That one took me about 30 years, so it sounds easy now, but it wasn't. So what do you respond to? If someone says, say it's at work, someone says, "You're not doing a good enough job," and you actually really did, do you respond by immediately getting upset, showing how much you've done, freaking out, being determined to prove to them you'll do even more? That's going to expand too. You're going to end up very exhausted. And then you're going to see what works to get more production out of you. Or if you're in a situation like that, and most times people who have a job need that job or something similar. But if a job is treating you that way, that may be a time to start looking for something else while keeping that one, because you want to be, we spend a lot of time at work. You want to be somewhere where you're appreciated. And when you put in your efforts, they are noticed, appreciated, and rewarded. Otherwise, why are you there? There's millions and millions of jobs in the world, If that company closed down tomorrow, I don't think that would be the absolute end of you. So if they're not appreciating you, it doesn't mean that you have to stay there. Hi. And what else was I going to say? The energy. Energy is real too. Oh, my phone's in my face with a shadow. The energy is real too. The way someone says things, you can feel it. And if someone says, "Oh, I'm so happy for you," and you say, "Why'd you say it like that? What are you talking about? I said I'm so happy for you." Like that kind of thing. I think they call it gaslighting. If you are arguing with someone like that, like if someone specifically that, if someone says, "Oh, it must be nice," or "Oh, so happy for you," what? I just said I'm happy for you. That's speaking out of envy, okay? They're mad at you for having more success or something better, or something easier than them. So it's like this envy victim thing, and it's punishing you for good that's happening in your life. If you are a good person and you are doing good things and you're rewarded for it, and the other people close to you aren't celebrating with you, they shouldn't be that close to you because they're going to bring you down. And they also, if someone envies and feels that envy in a time when you're doing well, then when you're not doing that well, they're actually happy about that. They're happy to see your downfall because now they feel superior when before they felt inferior. You didn't do anything to make them feel like that besides exist and do well, but then they feel superior. So they're actually, they're going to kick you when you're up and kick you when you're down. Who needs that, right? There you go. Just thinking about that. Really examine who you are. And if you actually can't be your happy, relaxed, calm, uplifting, all that stuff self around people, it's not good for them either. And maybe you could say, well, if they'd only change, then I wouldn't be this way. But the reality is, you are that way. And if you don't want to be that way, you have to just not be around them as much. I'm not, some of the things, oh, toxic person, walk away. I'm not saying just like get rid of everybody and run away to the mountains, But I am saying a lot of times we do just kind of get stuck in things and then look at like how long the relationship's been, or, well, it's always been this way. Well, everyone's like that. And we'll use these almost as excuses for, what's the expression? Better the devil you know than the devil you don't. But if it's the devil you already know it's bad. So what you don't know is a whole range of things. And whether you choose to open up some space, create some distance, and welcome or allow other experiences in, you still have to choose in those moments. It's not like, oh, well, if you remove one, then something better will take its place. No, if you remove one, then space is there. And what you choose to put in that place is what's going to take its place. Hello. Hey, beautiful puppy. So what you choose is going to be how you feel about yourself. And this gets to the part about loving yourself first. It's not a punishment. It doesn't mean you don't deserve love. You absolutely deserve love. But it's going to determine, if you love and accept yourself, that's going to determine what you allow in close and what you don't. It's going to determine what excites you and what bores you. If you love and accept yourself and you're good to someone and you're honest and they say, you know what, this isn't working out. Okay. I mean, it may say, oh, that's too bad. I liked you, but okay. I mean, you'll kind of accept it. But if you don't love and accept yourself, or if you haven't been the best person you know how to be, and someone says something like that to you, you know inside it's bouncing off of something. You know you haven't been a very good person. You know you haven't been honest. You know you haven't been one of those things. So that is actually going to draw you in. That's the karma of, you want to call them all narcissists? Sure. That's the karma of people who are deceptive and whatnot, is that when they're rejected, they know it was because they weren't doing their best. And you can never go back in time and redo how everything went down. So you have to look at, if you don't love yourself, then you might say, well, I'll change, I'll do this, I'll change this. And then you're kind of like a moving target and a puppet for the way someone else feels in the moment, just to try to win their approval. But it's then never you. It's never actually authentic. So do you want to be an inauthentic person? And the other thing is then, if you love and accept yourself and you're doing your best and you're being honest, you're only going to choose long-term those who appreciate and reciprocate. And if someone does that in the beginning, I made a joke that I should make a t-shirt that says, I'm just here for the love bombs. If someone's treating you well in the beginning and they seem to be honest and good and kind and all that, that's great. And then, as the months go on, the layers peel down and you get to see if that person's really that way or if they're not. And if they're not, it doesn't mean you wasted time. It means you had a great month or a great 3 months. And then it's time to move on over. You know what I mean? You don't have to feel stupid for believing their act because they could have spent a lot of time perfecting that act. It was very good. You can be like, well, I enjoyed that show, and now it's time to leave the theater. Anyway, bunch of thoughts there that I wanted to share with you. But again, really start to really look at who you are around different people. Are you rolling your eyes around anyone? Are you really kind to certain people? Do you drop everything and go right to certain people? And who are you encouraging? Is it the people that? Is it the people? Are the people you're encouraging the people who also encourage you? Or are you totally encouraging someone and then relying on someone else for your encouragement, but never encouraging them? We want everything to be reciprocal, and we really got to look at ourselves. And again, the intention could be good. You could want to help someone. You could want to be there for people who, seem to be upset about things. But it can't come at the cost of your own stability and sanity, especially if it's something that's just always been that way. Because then you're actually not being the best you can be to the people who are being the best they can be to you. And as you sow, so shall you reap. You put yourself last and you allow yourself to be used and mistreated, you're going to be last and you're going to feel used and mistreated. You don't want that. Make sure to prioritize yourself. Prioritize the connections where you feel good, where you feel appreciated, where you appreciate someone, where you feel valued, all the good things. And those two will expand and increase and will become the strongest, most well-built relationships of your life. Bye.